How one hacker could destroy an entire nation in 7 minutes, it's already happened. Cyber warfare loaded. What if I told you that this scenario isn't just theoretical? That we've already seen nations crippled by hackers infiltrating critical infrastructure? What if the next massive digital attack, the kind that could devastate an entire economy and paralyze a society, could happen in as little as 7 minutes? Welcome to the age where war isn't fought with bullets and bombs. It's fought with malicious code, hidden backdoors, and compromised networks. This isn't just about lost emails or stolen credit cards. This is about electric grids collapsing, communications collapsing, critical services grinding to a halt, and entire countries losing control of their digital lifelines. And it's already begun. The first real warnings, when hackers turn power off. One of the most chilling and oft-cited examples of real cyber warfare wasn't a Hollywood script. It was December 23rd, 2015 hack of Ukraine's power grid. At 3:30 p.m. local time, a sophisticated group of suspected Russian hackers penetrated Ukraine's electrical infrastructure, remotely manipulating substation controls and cutting power for 250,000 households. It wasn't a glitch. It wasn't accidental. It was a deliberate attack that switched off electricity, leaving entire regions in darkness for around 6 hours. This wasn't simple disruption. This was controlled sabotage. Hackers used malware called Black Energy 3 and Killdisk to infiltrate industrial control systems designed to regulate power flows, breakers, and grid stability. They remotely opened 30 substation circuit breakers and shut down substations. They also disabled backup power systems and flooded call centers with thousands of fake calls to prevent customers from reporting outages. And that attack was just a preview of what's possible. In 2016, Sandworm struck again with the Indestroyer Crash Override malware, specifically designed to target industrial control systems used in power grids. This attack was more sophisticated, capable of automatically manipulating circuit breakers without human intervention. When malware became a weapon, the Stuxnet precedent. If there's one watershed moment in the history of cyber warfare, it isn't Ukraine. It's Stuxnet. Between 2009 and 2010, a highly sophisticated malware called Stuxnet silently infiltrated Iran's nuclear enrichment facility at Natanz. This wasn't ransomware. This wasn't data theft. This was a weaponized virus designed to physically destroy industrial equipment. Stuxnet didn't just disrupt computers, it manipulated the industrial Siemens Step 7 programmable logic controllers, controlling IR-1 uranium enrichment centrifuges, causing them to destroy themselves. The malware increased centrifuge rotation speeds to dangerous levels while reporting normal operation to monitoring systems, essentially making the centrifuges tear themselves apart. The race to control critical infrastructure. Since Stuxnet, cyber warfare has evolved beyond isolated hacks. Today, state-sponsored hacking groups relentlessly probe, infiltrate, and compromise critical infrastructure systems worldwide. From geopolitical rivals to criminal syndicates, over 50 documented advanced persistent threat groups are now capable of degrading or destroying a nation's digital lifelines. These aren't lone hackers in basements. These are organized, funded, state-linked cyber armies with long-term access to target systems, waiting for an opportunity to strike. Key state-sponsored cyber actors include Maersk Shipping, lost $300 million. FedEx lost $400 million. Pharmaceutical giant Merck lost $670 million, all from a single malware strain. In Ukraine alone, Russian-linked app groups have launched over 2,000 documented cyber attacks since Russia's 2022 invasion, targeting energy grids, government services, telecommunications networks, and even webcams to gather intelligence. In 2023, Ukraine's largest mobile provider, Kyivstar, was hit with an unprecedented cyber attack attributed to Sandworm that disabled mobile and internet services for over 24 million people, more than half of Ukraine's population. Phone networks went down, communications were interrupted, and even air raid warning systems were rendered ineffective. The attack destroyed critical infrastructure rather than just disrupting it. Kyivstar's CEO described it as partially destroyed infrastructure requiring complete system rebuilds. It was a reminder that communications infrastructure is now a strategic battlefield. How a nation could fall in minutes. So how could one hacker or one hacker group cripple an entire nation within minutes to hours? The answer lies in critical infrastructure dependencies. Modern societies rely on interconnected systems. Power grids, 165,000 miles of high-voltage transmission lines in U.S. alone. Water supply controls, 15,300 public water systems in the U.S. Communications networks, fiber backbone, cell towers, data centers. Financial systems, $10+ trillion. Daily transactions. Transportation and logistics, air traffic control, rail signal, GPS, military command and control. Each of these depends on digital systems, and each can be targeted remotely. Here's how a coordinated cyber attack can devastate a country through cascading failures. Number 1. Power grid takeover. Initial disruption, 5-15 minutes. Full cascade, 2-6 hours. Hackers infiltrate ICS or SCADA systems, industrial control systems used in power distribution. With the right access, they can trip breakers, shut down substations, or destabilize grid frequency, causing rolling blackouts or full grid collapse. The 2015 Ukraine attack achieved power outage initiation in approximately 30 minutes from initial access to first blackout. However, attackers had persistent access for 6+ months prior to the attack. Cost estimate: a successful attack on the U.S. Northeast power grid could cause $243 billion to $1 trillion in economic damage, depending on duration. Number 2. Communications blackout. Disruption timeline, 10-45 minutes. Telecommunications networks, including landlines, mobile networks, emergency services, and internet access, can be targeted simultaneously. If the backbone of communication collapses, coordination collapses. The Kyivstar attack showed exactly how vulnerable large networks can be. 24 million subscribers lost service when core infrastructure was destroyed, not just disrupted. Technical method. Attackers can manipulate border gateway protocol routing, conduct distributed denial of service attacks exceeding 1 TBPs, or compromise core routers and DNS servers. Number 3. Banking and financial paralysis. Market impact, minutes to hours. Recovery, days to weeks. Hackers could breach central bank networks or major financial routers. Within hours, payments fail, ATMs go dead, stock markets halt, and the economic heartbeat stops. A real-world example? NotPetya, malware that spread through Ukraine in June 2017 and disrupted banks, government agencies, shipping companies, and infrastructure. While originally targeting Ukraine, it spilled over globally and caused over $10 billion in damage, the most costly cyber attack in history at the time. NotPetya highlights cascading effects. Maersk Shipping lost $300 million, FedEx lost $400 million. Pharmaceutical giant Merck lost $670 million, all from a single malware strain. Number 4. Transportation and logistics collapse. Initial chaos, 30 minutes. Full disruption, 4-12 hours. Air traffic control systems, rail signals, shipping logistics, and GPS navigation services are all computerized. A sudden, coordinated digital attack could make vehicles, planes, and trains uncontrollable. Chaos, gridlock, disaster. Real incident: in 2015, a Polish airline lot was grounded for 5 hours when hackers compromised ground computer systems, preventing generation of flight plans, stranding 1,400 passengers. GPS vulnerability. The entire U.S. GPS system can be disrupted by attacks on just 4 ground control stations. Iran and Russia have demonstrated GPS spoofing capabilities, affecting aircraft and ships. Number 5. Water and gas controls in chaos. Contamination risk, 1-3 hours. Explosion risk, minutes. Industrial control systems regulate water flow, sewage systems, gas distribution, and pipeline pressure. Hackers taking over those systems can disrupt water supplies, contaminate reservoirs, or cause pipeline explosions. In 2021, a hacker accessed the water treatment system in Oldsmar, Florida, and attempted to increase sodium hydroxide levels to dangerous concentrations, potentially poisoning 15,000 residents. The attack was only stopped when an operator noticed the intrusion. In 2023, Iranian-linked cyber avengers hacked 10-plus U.S. water systems, posting proof-of-concept images showing they had accessed operational technology controlling water treatment processes. When these systems are hit all at once, power, communication, finance, transport, water, the result isn't just disruption. It's a nationwide collapse of functionality, beginning within minutes, cascading over hours, and potentially requiring weeks to months for full recovery. This isn't science fiction. It's the terrifying potential of real cyber warfare. And the world isn't prepared for it. Warzone Masters deconstructs cascading infrastructure failures because understanding interdependencies reveals why a single successful attack can trigger nationwide paralysis. And why 7 minutes to catastrophe isn't hyperbole. It's mathematics. State-sponsored cyber arms race. The scary reality is that many such attacks aren't coming from criminal hackers motivated by money. They're coming from nation-state actors. Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, and even proxy hacker groups are now openly treating cyber warfare as a key strategic weapon. Ukraine has documented over 2,000 significant cyber attacks since 2022, with Russia deploying wiper malware designed to destroy data rather than steal it. China's cyber espionage targets government and corporate systems across the globe, most notably the 2023 discovery of Volt Typhoon, a Chinese app that had infiltrated U.S. critical infrastructure, power grids, water systems, communications, with the goal of pre-positioning for potential future conflict. And some malware is capable of deep penetration and long-term access, meaning attackers can sit inside networks establishing persistence through hidden backdoors, stolen credentials, and compromised update mechanisms. One stealthy intrusion could give a hacker access to power, water, finance, and defense systems, everything a modern nation relies on. Example: solar wind supply chain attack discovered December 2020. Russian APT-29 compromised software updates for 18,000-plus organizations, including U.S. Treasury, Department of Defense, and Fortune 500 companies. Attackers had access for 9-plus months before detection. It isn't paranoia, it's the ongoing reality of cyber conflict. Could one hacker really destroy a nation? So could one hacker really cripple an entire nation? The answer is, not alone, but a well-resourced state-sponsored hacker with pre-positioned access could trigger cascading failures affecting tens of millions within hours. If that hacker has state-level resources, access to critical infrastructure, and a carefully coordinated plan, it wouldn't look like a blockbuster explosion. It would look like systems collapsing, networks failing, infrastructure breaking down, and society grinding to a halt. A nation's electricity grid could go dark, affecting 55 million people in worst-case scenarios, Northeast U.S. Blackout 2003 model. Telecom networks could die, as seen with 24 million affected in Kyivstar attack. Banking systems could freeze. $10+ trillion in daily transactions halted. Emergency services could fail. 911 call routing dependent on telecom infrastructure. Transportation could stop. 45,000 daily flights in U.S. airspace. 140,000 miles of rail. And it could all begin within minutes and cascade over hours of a coordinated digital trigger. That is the terrifying potential of cyber warfare. If this video showed you how fragile our digital world really is, and how cyber warfare has already disabled systems once thought unstoppable, subscribe to Warzone Master. Comment below. Do you think nations will ever be able to defend against a full-scale cyber warfare attack? Or is this the future of war? Warzone Masters, where we decode the invisible battlefields, cascading vulnerabilities, and digital weapons that could collapse civilizations faster than any missile.